Hey, what's going on, everybody? Manny here once again. Welcome to DFS Zone. I'm going to go over today's 6-gamer real quickly, but before I get started, I appreciate you guys drop a like. If you're new here and you have not ever seen any of my videos, hey, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe down below. It helps out my channel a whole lot. And don't forget also to put on your post notifications. With that being said, real quickly, today is Tuesday. It's December the 17th, 2019. 6-game slate in the association. A little bit of news. Of course, I was the last few days I wasn't doing videos. I am going to be away from doing videos from starting this Friday, so there'll be a video obviously tomorrow, and I'm going to post up another one on Thursday to help you guys out as best as possible. But from Friday to about January the 2nd or so, I'm going to be taking a break. I'm going to be going and doing things with my family, go away, have some fun, enjoy my Christmas time and my break, and then when I come back, I'll be ready to go again. Also, when I do come back on the 2nd or the 3rd, I will be also reducing my video time, so meaning that instead of doing videos 6 or 7 days a week, I will more than likely do only 3 videos, maybe 4 a week, depending on the slate. So anything that's 3 games to as much as 6 or 7 game slate, more than likely I'll do a video because it won't consume a whole lot of my time. And then, of course, anything above 8 or 9 games will be a bit too much for me. It definitely takes a toll on me. I have a regular, full-time job. I have a family. I have 2 young kids. They need homework help. Got to cook dinner sometime. Wife works late, and so on and so forth. It's just really time consuming. I spend a lot of time doing this. I enjoy it, but at the same time, I can't let it completely consume all my time. So what I'm going to do is reduce my video time and also maybe reduce my videos and make them a little less lengthy, not 25-30 minutes, try to get them at 20 minutes or less. So I'm going to do everything I can to do that because I always try to give you guys as much information as I can. This does not hurt anybody that's involved with my Patreon page. If you're on my Patreon page and you got a player pool that you have monthly access to that you get every day, or you're doing a quick search sheet or anything, or the GPP cash lines, that's going to continue to go on even while I'm on vacation and I'm away from doing videos. I will continue to do that on my free time. Going to definitely do that, and that will be uploaded and ready to go for you guys every single day. So you're not going to miss out on any of that. Anybody wants to get involved with that while I'm gone, that's the best time to do it. Just go to the link in the description down below, and I'll be more than happy to continue giving that information to you guys as well while I'm away. But this is only really just strictly just taking a break from doing the video so I can focus on family time and doing other things. So again, that's basically that's just basic the information I wanted to give you guys. I know some guys had asked where I've been the last couple of days. Just really busy. Christmas time is really taxing, man. A lot of things that you have to do, plus of course work and so on and so forth. So moving forward, that's the way it's going to be going into the new year. All right, videos will continue to go. It's just going to be a little less often. Okay. All right, let's get right to it, man. So let's not kill any more time. I'll try to make this one quick as well because I am a little pressed for time today as well. Point guard at the top, we got Trae Young. Definitely someone you can't consider. He had a big game against the Knicks I think he put up 44, 45 the first time around. Is about where he's at, but $10,000, you need 50. I don't know if he's going to get 50. New York, I'm a New York Knicks fan. Knicks have been pretty tough against point guards and shooting guards this year. And even though Trae put up 44, 45 the first time around, I don't know if he's going to get there again today. He might do that. I mean, he is an option, but I think there's other guys you can go with at that price tag. And there's some guys in some spots that can definitely get you 40 or so and not have to break the bank at $10,000. So coming down a little lower, obviously Ricky Rubio, definitely someone I would consider if there is no Devin Booker. He will definitely get a bump up, and he's definitely someone you can consider if there's no Devin Booker. Spencer Dinwiddie in that matchup. I love the Brooklyn and New York games today. Brooklyn going up against New Orleans and the Knicks going up against Atlanta. Those are 2 games that me personally I'm going to be targeting a whole lot. I'm telling you that right here. It's just the bottom line. They're 2 of the highest implied total games of the night. The games should be competitive between all 4 teams, and this should be, these games can go in that 115 to 120 range or more. So definitely want to have some exposure to those games. But Ricky Rubio in play, so Spencer Dinwiddie in play for that price tag. You can consider him going up against New Orleans. I'm going to come all the way down, and I'm going to save some money. I mean, there's opportunity here. Alfred Payne, the Knick game, like I said, I want exposure to that game. I do like Alfred Payne here at 5,500. As long as he continues to play 25-plus minutes, he has the opportunity to get you one fantasy point per minute or better. So at 5,500, you need about 26, 27 to meet value. He's 5,200 on DK. definitely someone you can consider in a matchup today. He's one of these all-around guards that can do a little bit of everything. Obviously, he can score, as you can see here. He definitely had a double-double in his last outing. Can get you some steals. He's had 33 straight games at 25-plus minutes, and also during that same time, he has had 24-plus in 3 straight games as far as fantasy point totals. In 4 out of the last 5 games, 25-plus. If anything, 30-plus in 3 out of the last 4. So he is definitely trending on the up and up, and we hope that he continues to go that route. As long as he plays 25 or more, I do like him here. He's already averaging 24 in that short period of time. And like I said, he's one of those guards that can get you rebounds and assists. He can do a little bit of everything. As you can see, almost 4 rebounds a game, 5 assists. His shooting in the last 4 games has been pretty darn good. 48.5% from the floor, 37% from threes. Usage rate during that span is at 22% from 15-16 on the average for the season. So his usage rate has gone up ever since he's been getting more time on the floor. He's taking also during that span from 5 or 6 shots a game. Now he's up to 13, 14 shots a game, and he's also taking 2 to 3 threes. He's going up against Atlanta. They are 10th in defending point guards. They've been allowing 42 fantasy points per game to opposing point guards over the course of the last 4 or 5 games. They did go 26 to Fultz, 58 to Simmons, 45 to Bledsoe, and 55 to Rubio, all over the course of the last 5 games. All right, so I like Alfred Payton there, and I also do like him on DK for 5,200. And like I said, those other guys I mentioned above are options. You know, in that same matchup with Brooklyn, you can consider Lonzo Ball. His minutes have been a little sporadic, but again, I do think that the best plays are Rubio if there's no Booker. Spencer Dinwiddie in that matchup against New Orleans should have some exposure. I think it's a little tough matchup for Malcolm Brogdon here, but he is at home, and Terry Rozier is always someone you can consider because he could be dangerous. I just prefer Devontae Graham because of his usage and the amount of shots he takes. So let's move on. So a shooting guard at the top, you have, shooting top at the top. At the top, you got Donovan Mitchell, Drew Holiday. I'm all over Drew Holiday, and again, I do like Devontae Graham. These two I do like a lot, but I prefer Drew Holiday here today in the matchup against Brooklyn. Again, I want exposure to this game. Most of my guys that I'm going to select here today, at least this early on, are going to be New York players or Brooklyn players or New Orleans players. But Drew Holiday at 8,300 in play. You need about 42, 43 to me value. I would say 42 fantasy points. And on DK, 7,700. You only need 37 days. Definitely a fine play on DK for that price tag. He's been at 35 or better in 4 straight games, 4 out of his last 5. He definitely has 50-point upside, as we can see. He's been able to get to 50. What I like is that he's been playing more than enough minutes, and he gets more than enough usage and more than enough shots. And those are numbers that I always look for. 35 plus in 5 out of his last 6 games. 50-point upside, playing 34 plus minutes. He's shooting 45% from the floor, 34% from 3. And he is a do-it-all shooting guard, just like Alfred Payton, pretty much. And another thing about Alfred Payton, he is going up against New Orleans. This is the team that he last played for. So if you want to look at some revenge narrative, I don't think there is there, but he might be a little hyped up to go and play in New Orleans and show New Orleans a little bit of, give them a little something to cheer about tonight for Alfred Payton. So Alfred Payton, like I said, going up against New Orleans at his former arena might be another reason why Alfred Payton should be someone to consider in your lineups. But Drew Holiday here, definitely in play, man. I mean, the minutes are there. Like I said, everything's there. His usage rate is at 25%, taking 17, 18 shots a game, and he's taking 5 or 6 threes on a regular basis. His first game against Brooklyn, he put up 44 in 34 minutes, and that was actually a shootout. I mean, obviously, New Orleans lost that game to Brooklyn. That game was in Brooklyn. It was 135-125. I'm hoping we get another one of those, shootout games again by both of these teams. Brooklyn, 30th in defending shooting guards. They're dead bottom, at least as far as right now, allowing 31.2 fantasy points per game. They did give up Norman Powell 36 in their last outing. Devontae Graham put up 51 and 43 in 2 respective games over the course of the last 4 games against the Brooklyn Nets. So Drew Holiday definitely in a good spot here to be able to do some wonder. So other than that, like I said, I love Devontae Graham simply because he gets the minutes, 34 plus a game. He is getting 27% usage rate, and he's taking 17, 18 shots on the norm pretty much per game, and taking tons of threes as well, about 6 or 7 or more a game. So Devontae Graham, just for the amount of usage and all that you're getting off of him, you got to definitely consider him. Other than that, R.J. Barrett, 6,300. Love his price on DK. Definitely a DK play at 4,500. And, of course, if there is we know that J.J. Redick is out. So J.J. Redick, obviously, Josh Hart is in play. He's definitely someone else I'm considering. He's only 4,700 on DK, so Hart in play on Fanduel and on DK. And I also do like R.J. Barrett's price for the Knicks at 4,500 on DK. So definitely those are guys you got to consider there. When we go over the small forward at the top, LeBron James is in play only if AD is out. Plain and simple. If he's out, he's going to be in about 25-30% of my lineups. LeBron James, hands down. Then of course, if AD is out, that opens up the doors for JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, and of course Dudley. Those guys are going to get a bump. They're going to need to do some rebounding and be able to put in their time on the court. So those are guys that you can get as far as value is concerned. So LeBron James in play if there's no AD. I'm not high on Paul George today or Kawhi Leonard. I think that I could definitely save some money. Brandon Ingram is definitely someone that I'm going to have exposure to because, again, I want to have exposure to that Brooklyn New Orleans game. So he's in play for me. I'm going to come down to save a little bit just for the sake of the video. LeBron and Ingram are my two favorite plays. And that's only obviously for LeBron if there is no AD. But Jonathan Isaac is 6,800. He is 6,400 on DK. And he's playing 36-plus minutes, man. He's playing more than enough minutes a game. He has 36-plus in 3 out of his last 4, playing 31-plus minutes a game. He's shooting 48% from the floor, 44%, 36% from 3. And those are his numbers at his home and away split. So he's actually been playing better away than he has at home. 48% and 36% as opposed to at home, 44% from the floor and 30% from 3. He's averaging 37-plus fantasy points on the road while he's only scoring 27 fantasy points at home. He's taking 11 to 12 shots a game, 2 to 3 threes per game. And, of course, as we know, man, he can get you some rebounds. He had a double-double here, 21 and 11. Can get you a ton of rebounds, and that's definitely important. On top of that, he is definitely a pretty decent defender, can get you some blocks and get you the steals. That's where all the fantasy point totals definitely add up. He's going up against Utah. They're 10th in defending small forwards, allowing 28.2 fantasy points per game over the course of the last 5 or 6 games. They did give up 23 to Glenn Robinson III, 24 to Nader, 28 to Crowder, and 40 to Tobias Harris, all over the last 5 games. I think that he's in a pretty good spot here to get you that 35 to 40 or better. He definitely could exceed 40 easily in this matchup today if everything all pans out. Again, the games have to be played, the players have to play, and the coaches have to coach. So any given day, anything can happen. But Jonathan Isaac, I think, can be a very sneaky, nice spot play here, 6,800 today. Other than him, Kelly Oubre is definitely someone to consider. If there's no Devin Booker, he's definitely someone you got to have in your player pool. All right. Other than that, Morris and Taurean Prince are definitely in play for me because, like I said, I want exposure to Brooklyn, New Orleans, and I want exposure to Atlanta, New York. And Marcus Morris, his price tag better on DK than it is on FanDuel. And Taurean Prince has been pretty solid. Other than that, Mikal Bridges over here for Phoenix, definitely in play, as well as Cameron Johnson. If Devin Booker is out, Bridges started the last game, played 30-somewhat minutes, put up 1 fantasy point per minute. So there's options there. You could definitely pay down. These are guys that are definitely excellent plays for value if Devin Booker is out. All right, we go to power forward. At power forward at the top, you got Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, Domantas Sabonis. I'm going to come down to Julius Randle. Like I said, I want exposure to the New York-Atlanta game. And I think Julius Randle is in a good spot here to do wonders against that Atlanta team. I mean, he's getting Jabari Parker defense. So, again, Julius Randle, 7,600. His price tag is $7K on DK. You need 35, 36 to meet value. He's at about 33, but he's at 36-plus in 3 straight games and 4 out of his last 5 games. So those are pretty good. And his numbers, as far as minutes are concerned, are up there. He gets 30-plus minutes, 32-plus minutes a game. 3 straight games at 20 floor points or better, 20, 26, and 24 here. So he's just missed 3 triple-doubles pretty much. He only needed 1 more rebound in the last 2 games. He could have had 3 straight triple-doubles. And, he has the occasional little steal. Surprisingly, he doesn't get as much defensive points here on a regular basis. A guy like this, I would figure he would get more blocks and possibly some steals. But as you can see, he's not doing a whole lot of that. But other than that, he definitely is someone that he's going up against a team that really struggles against bigs, and they are one of the worst rebounding teams in the front court, giving second chance opportunities and giving up points in the paint Julius Randle should definitely do well here. So we hope for the best. He is definitely coming in here. He's shooting 45% from the floor. He's taking 15 to 16 shots a game, as well as a few threes a game. Granted, I would love to see Julius Randle take less threes. I just don't think he needs to do that. But he can get you rebounds, and of course he can get you the occasional steal. He's going up against Atlanta, Jabari Parker defense, and that's not that good. And like I said already, Atlanta is one of the poor defensive teams in the league. 11th in defending power forwards, allowing in the last 6 games 42.7 fantasy points per game. If he doesn't get 40 or better here today, it will be pretty disappointing. 51 to Davis in their last game, 61 to Adebayo, 42 to P.J. Washington, and 41 to Taurean Prince. If P.J. Washington and Taurean Prince can both score in the 40s, there should be no reason for Julius Randle not to get 40 or more fantasy points here today. Julius Randle in play. Then, other than Julius Randle, I mean, Jared Allen, again, exposure to the Brooklyn-New Orleans game. I think that I will have some exposure to him. Derek Favors would be in play. I mean, my concerns are he's not getting enough minutes as of yet. And, if they were just to let him go and he starts and he plays 25, 30 minutes, he can definitely get you 35 fantasy points in 20 minutes. He's capable of doing that, especially against Brooklyn. But Jared Allen has been pretty good defending against other opposing power forwards and centers. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Other than that, I mean, yeah, let's just move along, man. Let's move along here. Center. So at center at the top, you got Gobert, Harrell, Vucevic. I think these guys, this is all tough matchups for everybody. Gobert's always had a rough go against Vucevic. Pretty good defender. Vucevic, pretty good defender on Gobert, and Gobert, pretty good defender on Vucevic. I don't see these guys scoring more than 40, 45 fantasy points, in my opinion. And I think Harrell's in the same spot. He's at 8,000. You need 40. I think that's about where he's going to be at. And then they got DeAndre Ayton coming back. So we don't know what's the deal there with Harrell. I don't know if he's going to be able to get 40. But Ayton hasn't shown to be a great defender, at least in his first year and a half in the league. So we'll see. He's coming off a suspension. I think if you wanted to pay down here and didn't want to go up against any of these guys, I don't think any of these guys are going to just put up 50 fantasy points today or better, because that's what you need here if you're going to definitely put them as a straight tournament play. But, if you're going to come down, you're going to get something in the 35-40 range, and it's much cheaper. And I think Mitchell Robinson at 6,900 is definitely an option. Cody Zeller and Bismack Biyombo, that's where I'm pretty much at. I'm going to go with Biyombo. He's been playing center. Cody Zeller has now filled in for P.J. Washington in the last game. He started there, and he played fairly well. I think put up 30-somewhat fantasy points. Could be someone to consider. Sorry about that. Cell phone ringing. Let me shut that off. But Bismack Biyombo, 5,400, need about 26, 27 to meet value. He's averaging 18, but as you can see in his last 4 games, he's put up 27 or better with a 35 spot. Definitely has 40-point upside, can get you in the high 30s. At that price tag, that is not bad at all, especially for tournament play at 5,400. He is 4,800 on DK, only need 23, 24 to meet value there. He's a double-doubles guy. He's got a double here, double-double here, double-double here, and what he brings is the rebounding, of course, which is very important for a big man. He's not going to take tons of shots. He's only taking 6 or 7 shots a game on average, pretty much, and his usage rate is at 17%. He is shooting 56% from the floor, but he gets you the rebounds and can get you the blocks. That's what we want from a Bismack Biyombo. He's going up against Sacramento. They're 19th in defending centers, and they've been allowing 27.8, pretty much 28 fantasy points per game. They did give up in their last outing 38 to Willie Cauley-Stein, 35 to Steven Adams prior to that over the last 3 games. So Steven Adams 35 and Willie Cauley-Stein 38. I think that he's in that position here as well. I should be able to get over 30 fantasy points in this matchup. As long as he continues to play 24 to 28 minutes, he should be able to put 1 point per minute up there or better. So Bismack Biyombo in play for me. Other than that, if you wanted to get more value out of center, there's going to be some value, especially if AD is out. If AD is out, then you can definitely consider JaVale McGee. You can consider Dwight Howard. You can go either or with any one of those guys. Other than that, I think Derek Favors, like I mentioned before, on DK, he is center eligible. Definitely someone to consider there. He's only 4,600 on DK, so playing 20. As long as he starts and he plays 28 minutes, I think he'll be a steal on DK, and a very sneaky play, Derek Favors, as a center eligible on DK. But that's where I'm at, man. That's pretty much where I'm at this moment, about 6 or 7 hours before lock. So, again, if you want to follow along on my Patreon page, just make sure you do that down below. Go to my Patreon page and and become a member. Go in there, check out the player pool and so on. I did put up a sample player pool there a couple of days back. So I did put a sample player pool up there that's open to the public. If you wanted to see what it looks like, the information is on there. You could definitely take a look at that. And that's going to expand over at the end of the new year. Going into the new year, I plan to put a couple more statistics on there as well. So, and I think I'm going to try to have that available to those who just want to just purchase the player pool and follow along with me just on a daily. They can just purchase it any given day if they wanted to, just to check it out. I'm going to probably have that option there, but going into the new year. So that's pretty much it, man. I wish you guys a lot of luck. And again, I'll be back tomorrow. I will have a video tomorrow. I will have a video on Thursday. And then after that, I'm going to be on a little hiatus with the family until about the 2nd of January. All right. But till then, good luck tonight, and I'll see you guys